A man in Texas just tried to use a taco as his driver's license at a Dewey checkpoint, and honestly, that sentence alone should tell you everything you need to know about how this ends, but buckle up because it gets so much stupider. Our hero rolls up to the checkpoint, windows down, clearly several drinks past, making good choices, and when the officer asks for his license and registration, this absolute genius reaches into his center console, pulls out a taco, and hands it over like he's just solved a riddle. Not a taco-shaped novelty, Ed. Not a joke. An actual goddamn taco. Beef, lettuce, cheese, the whole Taco Bell value menu experience, just sitting there in the cop's hand while this guy apparently waits for the officer to scan the sour cream and wave him through. Now let's pause here because I need you to understand the level of confidence required to execute this move. This wasn't a fumble. This wasn't him reaching for his wallet and accidentally grabbing his late-night snack. No, this man looked a Texas state trooper dead in the eye and presented a soft-shell taco as valid government identification. The officer, to his credit, did not immediately tase this man into the pavement, which shows remarkable restraint because I'm pretty sure handing a cop a taco during a Dewey stop violates at least 7 traffic codes and possibly the Geneva Convention. Instead, the officer reportedly just stood there, holding this taco, trying to process what the hell just happened, while our drunk friend sits in the driver's seat, probably thinking he just pulled off the heist of the century. The officer, now holding what I can only assume is a rapidly disintegrating flour tortilla, asks again for actual identification. And here's where it gets truly beautiful. The guy doubles down. He insists the taco is his id. He's committed. He's ride or die with this taco. The officer is now in the twilight zone, radioing backup like, yeah, we've got a situation here. Suspect is uncooperative and also possibly believes he's a sentient burrito. They run him through the field sobriety test, which, spoiler alert, he fails harder than a philosophy major's first tax return. Eyes bloodshot, speech slurred, balance non-existent, and still occasionally gesturing at the taco like it's going to vouch for him in court. He gets arrested on the spot. Cuffed, stuffed, and hauled down to the station where presumably someone had to write, "Suspect attempted to use Mexican food as identification." In an official police report, the booking officer's having the night of his life. The other inmates are going to dine out on this story for months. And somewhere in evidence lockup, there's a plastic bag with a taco in it, tagged and labeled as Exhibit A, slowly decomposing under fluorescent lights like a really sad art installation about the failure of human judgment. But wait, it gets even dumber. Turns out this wasn't some brilliant drunk logic or performance art piece. According to court documents, the guy genuinely, sincerely, in his alcohol-soaked brain, believed that the taco would work. He thought he'd found a loophole. Like somewhere in the Texas Penal Code, there's a clause that says, or 1-1 beef taco properly garnished as acceptable identification. He goes to trial, gets convicted of Dewey, hit with fines, probably some community service, and definitely a story that will follow him to every family reunion until he dies. His lawyer had to stand up in court and say, "Your Honor," about the taco with a straight face. The prosecutor got to build a case around a Tex-Mex entree. The judge had to gavel down a sentence while presumably wondering if retirement might be a good option. And the best part? This all happened in April, spring in Texas. Bluebonnets blooming, temperature's perfect, and this guy's out here trying to swap processed beef for legal documentation. The officer who caught him probably went home that night, cracked open a beer, and just stared at his wall for 20 minutes trying to reconcile what he witnessed with his understanding of human behavior. His wife asks how his shift went, and he just gestures vaguely at the universe and mutters something about tacos. Meanwhile, the precinct has already ordered custom t-shirts. So if you're keeping score at home, taco does not equal driver's license. Drunk driving is still illegal, even if you're creative about it. And somewhere in Texas, there's a man who will forever be known as the idiot who thought Taco Tuesday extended to traffic law. The American dream is alive and well and completely shit-faced behind the wheel. Anyway, let's see what other stellar decision-making made the news this week. Speaking of brilliant life choices made under questionable circumstances, let's talk about the food delivery driver in Florida who just accidentally became a hostage negotiator because someone's DoorDash order was giving off serious "help me, I'm being held captive" vibes. So here's the setup. It's a regular Tuesday night in Sweetwater, some delivery drivers cruising through their shift, probably listening to a true crime podcast, ironically enough, when they get pinged for an order. Normal stuff. Except when they look at this order, something feels off. The Sweetwater Police Department won't say exactly what it was that raised the red flag. Whether it was a bizarre combination of menu items, some coded message in the special instructions, or just the address itself screaming active felony in progress, but whatever it was. This driver's spidey senses started tingling hard enough that instead of dropping off the food and collecting their tip like every other exhausted gig worker on earth, they called the goddamn cops. And thank Christ they did, because it turns out this wasn't just someone hangry and dramatic. This was an actual honest-to-God hostage situation, like a real one, with a victim being held against their will by some piece of shit who'd barricaded himself inside with another human being. Like, this is a Netflix limited series, except it's Florida, so of course it's real life. The police roll up, lights flashing, the whole cavalry descending on what probably looked like a normal suburban house from the outside, and suddenly we've got a full tactical situation unfolding because someone ordered what I can only assume was the world's most suspicious burrito bowl. Now let's appreciate the absolute galaxy brain move by this delivery driver for a second. Most people in the gig economy are so beaten down by algorithms and one-star reviews that they'd deliver food to an active volcano if the app told them to. But this person saw something weird, trusted their gut, and made the call that probably saved someone's life. They're out here doing detective work for $12 an hour plus tips, while the rest of us can barely remember to check if our car doors are locked. Meanwhile, the cops show up and realize, holy shit, this driver just handed them a hostage crisis on a silver platter, or I guess technically in an insulated delivery bag with someone else's dinner inside. The situation's tense, the suspect's barricaded, the victim's terrified. Police are setting up a perimeter, negotiators are probably en route. The whole neighborhood's peeking through their blinds, wondering why there are 15 cop cars outside Gary's house, and somewhere in the middle of all this chaos, the hostage manages to escape, just bolts. Makes a run for it while officers are coordinating their approach, and suddenly the victim's out, safe, probably running faster than they've ever run in their entire life, while the suspect's still inside playing tough guy with nobody left to threaten. At that point, the cops breach, grab the dipshit, slap him in cuffs, and haul his ass to jail, where he can spend the next however many years thinking about the food delivery order that ended his crime spree. The police department puts out a statement praising the driver's vigilance and quick thinking, which is nice, but let's be real. That driver probably got a $2 tip and a 4-star rating because the food arrived late due to them preventing a murder. That's the gig economy, baby. You can literally save someone's life, and the app will still dock you for not following GPS directions to a hostage situation. The victim's hopefully in therapy processing what just happened. The suspect sitting in county lockup realizing he got busted because of Uber Eats. And the driver? They're probably back online taking orders before their shift even ends because rent's due and heroes still gotta eat. And here's the truly beautiful part of this shit show. We'll never know what was in that order. Was it a cry for help buried in the delivery notes? Did someone request extra ranch in Morse code? Was the address itself a known problem location? The cops aren't saying, and honestly that might be for the best, because if it gets out that you can signal distress through Grubhub, we're gonna have a whole new category of emergency response to deal with. Every Karen who gets the wrong sauce is gonna start treating delivery drivers like undercover agents. Yes, officer, I ordered no pickles and received pickles. I believe I'm being held hostage by Wendy's. The entire system will collapse under the weight of false alarms and misunderstood condiment requests. But in this case, this one shining moment of competence in a sea of human stupidity, someone saw something genuinely wrong, said something, and an actual victim got rescued because of it. The delivery driver trusted their instincts instead of their star rating. The victim seized their moment and escaped. The cops did their job without shooting anyone or fucking it up. It's like watching a unicorn tap dance. You know it shouldn't be possible, but here we are. And the suspect? Well, he's exactly where he belongs, probably getting roasted by his cellmates for being the dumbass who got caught because he couldn't even order takeout without incriminating himself. So I guess the moral here, if we're doing morals tonight, which we're not, is trust your gut, and also maybe don't commit felonies while actively using delivery apps, because apparently that's how you get busted now. The future is stupid and beautiful and deeply weird. What's the dumbest way you've ever seen someone get caught? Leave it in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, because God knows what other insane news I'm going to dig up next time.